Okay, let's unpack this. Our story today, it kicks off with something that sounds simple. Jem, my brother, getting a badly broken arm.
Right.
But what's really fascinating is how, even as kids, we couldn't settle on the real beginning. Was it the Ewells?
Hmm?
Or maybe Dill turning up in Maycomb? I even thought maybe it goes all the way back to Andrew Jackson.
It's such a brilliant way to start, isn't it? Because Atticus, your father, just says we were both right.
Yeah.
And that immediately tells you, okay, look deeper. Don't look for just one cause.
Exactly.
It signals that understanding Maycomb and all the really profound lessons buried in it means looking at how all these histories and viewpoints kind of tangle together. Sometimes, there's more than one truth at the same time.
It just pulls you right in, doesn't it? Makes you question single explanations from, like, page one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what we want to do in this deep dive. So sort of untangle those first threads of Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, the foundations.
We'll explore the characters, their connections, and that really unique social world of Maycomb. How it all weaves together to teach us about justice, empathy, courage.
Our mission really is digging out those surprising bits, those key insights that, take it beyond just reading the words to actually understanding.
So where do we start? The family, I suppose?
Well, it's striking how fast the book grounds you in the Finch family.
Yeah.
All through Scout's, your perspective.
Right.
You meet Jem, nearly 13, and his broken arm is the whole reason we're looking back.
Mm-hmm.
Then Atticus, the moral compass, the lawyer father. He was, middle-aged when he met your mother?
Yeah, she was 15 years younger.
And then there's you, Jean Louise, Scout. The narrator, super observant, but you never really missed your mother because she died so young.
Yeah.
Sudden heart attack.
When I was 2. And Calpurnia. She's so central, almost like a third parent in the house.
Definitely.
Though I admit, as a kid, I saw her as this tyrannical presence, always winning our battles, mainly because Atticus always took her side. But her role, especially how Atticus saw her, what does that tell us? He respected her so much. Noted she had more education than most colored folks. Said we couldn't operate a single day without Cal.
It's a huge challenge to how things normally work then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Atticus isn't just valuing her work. He sees her as, essential, integral to the family.
Right.
And then later, you find out she has this whole other life, this separate existence outside your house. Even speaks 2 languages, proper English with you guys, and then the dialect of her own community. It shows she's so much more complex than just a family cook and housekeeper.
Yeah.
It's a quiet kind of resistance to Maycomb's expectations.
And speaking of Maycomb's expectations, the town itself has such weird roots.
Oh, yeah.
Our ancestor, Simon Finch, annoyed by Methodists in England, comes to America, buys slaves, even though his teacher told him not to trade in human chattels, and sets up Finch's Landing.
Talk about contradictions baked in from the start.
Right.
And Maycomb Town, founded on a lie, basically. Singfield, the innkeeper, gets the surveyors drunk to place the county seat where it benefits him.
I love that story.
It leads to Maycomb being so isolated, growing inwards, where the same families married the same families. It's not just a funny anecdote. It explains so much about the town.
Oh, definitely. The stagnation, the rigid social lines.
It's resistance to anything new.
You really feel that closed-off feeling. It created this sort of implicit caste system, didn't it? Where people were judged by their family name.
Utterly predictable, as you said.
No, Crawford minds his own business. Every third Merriweather is morbid, stuff like that. Your whole character decided before you even open your mouth.
And right into that world that's sort of established, almost stifling atmosphere comes Anne Alexandra, Atticus' sister.
Oh, boy.
And her goal is clear. Instill gentle breeding, family pride. You and Jim are not from run-of-the-mill people, in her eyes.
She was especially worried about Calpurnia's influence, wasn't she? Try to get Atticus to let her go.
Which becomes this major clash, right, within the family itself.
Yeah, but Atticus, he just flat out refuses. Says Calpurnia is a faithful member of this family and the children love her.
It's huge.
It's not just him standing up to his sister. It's him declaring his core values, setting the moral tone for us, really.
Absolutely. It defines his home as this place of, integrity, different from the town outside. And it shows his parenting style, trusting you kids, valuing relationships over what society expects.
And then Dill arrives.
Right, the catalyst. Charles Baker Harris.
Yeah.
Dill. This pocket Merlin whose head teemed with eccentric plans.
He totally shifts the focus, doesn't he? From the grown-up stuff to kid world, wonder, fear.
And the immediate obsession with Boo Radley.
Oh, yeah. Trying to make him come out. fitching that note onto the porch.
Well, the town just whispers these chilling stories about him, locked up by his dad, maybe sent to an asylum in Tuscaloosa once. And then his older brother Nathan comes back and seals him off even more.
How does that early obsession kind of set the stage for later themes?
That's a great question. I mean, it immediately brings up mystery, rumor versus truth, right?
Yeah.
The town's already decided who Boo is based on gossip and fear, just like they'll later do with Tom Robinson. And Atticus steps in, doesn't he? Tells you kids, stop tormenting that man. Yeah. Respect his privacy. How would you feel if he just barged in on us without knocking?
It's that lesson again.
The first big one. Empathy. Climb into his skin and walk around in it. It's basically the whole point of the book, laid out early on.
Speaking of lessons, my first day of school.
Wow.
Miss Carolyn Fisher.
The new teacher?
From North Alabama, all full of new ideas. Like the Dewey Decimal System for reading. If you want to learn about cows, you go milk one.
And she clashes immediately with the fact that you can already read.
Yeah, because Atticus read the newspaper to me every night. She thought I was damaged, said she needed to undo the damage.
Which is just wild. And her frustration leads straight into that encounter with Walter Cunningham Jr.
Oh, Walter. Refusing the lunch money.
And you have to explain it to Miss Caroline. The Cunninghams never took anything they can't pay back.
Right. It just highlights these unwritten rules in Maycomb, doesn't it? Their whole bartering system.
Exactly. Like Atticus getting paid in stovewood, hickory nuts.
Milax and holly, turnip greens. I understood that. It showed their pride, their integrity, even when they had basically nothing.
And that understanding gets even deeper at dinner, right, when Walter comes over.
And pours molasses all over his food.
And Calpurnia gives you that fierce talking to for questioning him.
Oh, yeah.
And then Atticus delivers the line again. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it.
It's about so much more than just table manners.
It's the core ethical principle. It just echoes through the whole story.
And that idea feels even more real when we start finding those gifts. In the knothole of the oak tree on the Radley lot.
Yeah, those mysterious gifts.
Chewing gum, the Indian head pennies, the little soap dolls carved to look like Jem and me.
More than just random objects, aren't they? They're loaded with meaning.
Totally.
They're proof that Boo is, well, human. That he's watching, connecting in the only way he can.
Each gift feels like a step closer.
Absolutely. From simple things to really personal, crafted items, it's communication without words. And it flies in the face of how the town sees him, this monster figure.
And Jem figuring out his torn pants.
Yeah.
How they were folded over the fence, waiting for him, sewn up.
Yeah, that secret link.
And then Nathan Radley just cements the knothole shut. Says the tree is dying.
Ugh, that's such a brutal moment. Cutting off that connection just as it's starting.
Really is. Which sort of brings us to Miss Maudie Atkinson. Another voice of reason in Maycomb.
Yes, the Finch's neighbor. Direct, thoughtful.
She always insisted on calling Brew Arthur, said he's alive because she hadn't seen him carried out yet. She pushes back against the town gossip.
She does. And she has no time for those foot washers, the super strict religious types who think her flowers are sinful. She's got this independent spirit. Her clarity, her refusal to just go along with things makes her another moral guidepost. Like Atticus, but, different.
And then the mad dog scene. Tim Johnson.
Whoa, yeah. That's dramatic. The dog's rabid, staggering down the street. Calpurnia makes that frantic call to Atticus.
And Atticus shows up with Sheriff Heck Tate. And suddenly we find out our quiet book-reading dad is old one-shot.
The deadest shot in Maycomb County in his time.
It just blew my mind as a kid. Completely changed how I saw him.
It totally redefines strength, doesn't it? For Jem and Scout, and for us reading it. And Miss Maudie explains why he stopped hunting.
His civilized heart.
Yeah. Marksmanship is a gift of God, he felt. And he wouldn't shoot unless he absolutely had to because it gave him an unfair advantage over most living things.
That hits Jem hard, doesn't it? He understands something profound there. Doesn't brag about it.
No. It's a lesson in humility, knowing when not to use your power. Restraint.
Which is such a contrast to the courage we see in Mrs. Dubose.
Oh, Mrs. Henry Lafayette Dubose. A completely different kind of courage.
Yeah. Elderly, sick, and just vile with her insults. Especially calling Atticus a nigger lover.
And Jem loses it, destroys her camellia bushes.
Leading to that really strange punishment Jem has to go read to her every afternoon.
Seems odd, right? But it's brilliant.
Why?
Because through reading to her, Jem learns the truth about her fix. She's fighting this agonizing battle to quit morphine before she dies.
Yeah.
And Atticus uses her struggle to teach Jem what real courage is. It's when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway, and you see it through no matter what.
Wow, that puts the rifle thing in perspective.
Totally. One's about skill, power over something else. The other's about inner strength against impossible odds. Which one sticks with Jem more, do you think?
Definitely Mrs. Dubose. That idea of fighting a losing battle, that feels much deeper, more relevant to what's coming.
Absolutely. It's about perseverance when defeat seems certain. A crucial lesson for Jem before the trial.
And it's around this time Jem starts really changing, isn't he? Becoming adolescent, moody, inconsistent, sometimes difficult to live with, as I put it.
Yeah, the growing pains.
It's like he's starting to absorb those ugly things Atticus warned us about, grappling with it all.
Now, those ugly things definitely start to overshadow everything as the Tom Robinson trial gets closer. But first, Dill comes back.
Oh, yeah, dramatically. Runs away from his new dad in Meridian.
Says he felt unwanted.
Yeah.
They do get on a lot better without me. And that heartbreaking line about how they buy him stuff, but it's like, now you've got it, go play with it.
Just pure childhood loneliness. It's rough.
But Jem's stepping up, deciding to call Atticus. That shows his growing maturity.
And Atticus is just so calm. Let Dill stay, tells him gently to take a bath. Steady as always.
But the tension ramps way up with that scene at the jail.
Ugh, yes.
Yeah.
Atticus sitting there alone, guarding Tom.
And those 4 dusty cars pull up. The confrontation with that group. And Alexandra calls them just a nest of those Cunninghams, drunk and disorderly. It's chilling. The quiet prejudice finally boiling over.
But then I kind of wander into it, start talking to Mr. Cunningham.
Oh.
About Walter, about the entailment.
And your innocent intervention just diffuses the whole thing, shames him into leaving.
It's wild, right? A kid with just, like, basic decency stops a lynch mob. Shows the power of connecting to someone's humanity, maybe.
Totally. And you notice later, Mr. Underwood, the newspaper editor, had a shotgun covering Atticus the whole time. Another kind of quiet protection.
Yeah.
It's an incredible scene. Atticus's lessons in action, but also the power of innocence against that mob mentality.
And then we're inside the courtroom, the atmosphere.
Stark. Rigid segregation. Jem, you, and Dill end up in the colored balcony with Reverend Sykes. 4 black men give up their front row seats for you.
That image alone says so much about the divide in Macon.
And the testimonies. They're a masterclass in contrast.
Hmm?
Bob Ewell first.
Crude. Accusatory. Saw that black nigger yonder rutting on my Mayella.
And clearly illiterate. Plus, he admits he never called a doctor for Mayella.
Yeah.
Shows his character immediately, doesn't it? His lack of concern.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just what he says, it's what it reveals about him. Total disregard for truth, or even his own daughter.
Then Mayella. Her testimony is where the real tragedy unfolds.
It's all over the place. Contradictory, hesitant. You see how lonely she is? Saving up nickels for a year just to get the kids out of the house so she could be alone with Tom.
Mm-hmm. And then she just explodes in anger at Atticus.
Yeah.
Calls the court yellow, stinking cowards. It's desperation, deflection, shame.
And then Tom Robinson testifies. That's the crucial part.
Absolutely. His physical impossibility, the left arm fully 12 inches shorter than his right, just hang useless. He couldn't have done what they accused him of.
He gives his side so calmly, talks about Mayella making advances, says he helped her because he felt sorry for her.
Which turns out to be a fatal thing to say in that courtroom.
Yeah. And they bring up his prior conviction, 30 days for disorderly conduct, but it just shows he wasn't hiding anything, his simple honesty. What does it reveal?
It reveals how little truth matters when prejudice is that strong. His simple compassion for Mayella. That becomes his crime in their eyes. A black man feeling sorry for a white woman. Unthinkable to them.
And then there's Mr. Dolphus Raymond.
Ah, yes. The town drunk.
Sipping Coca-Cola from a paper sack.
Right. Pretending to be drunk. So Macomb has an easy explanation for why he lives the way he does with a black woman, having mixed-race children.
His line is so powerful. Secretly, Miss Finch, I'm not much of a drinker, but you see, they could never, never understand that I live like I do because that's the way I want to live.
What's he really saying about the town?
It's a huge criticism, isn't it? Macomb needs these simple boxes to put people in. They can't handle someone just choosing a different life based on principle or love, so they invent a flawed drunkenness to make it make sense. It shows how rigid they are.
Exactly. And Atticus's closing argument pulls it all together. Points out the lack of medical evidence, the contradictory stories.
And how Mayella broke that unspoken, rigid, and time-honored code by desiring a black man. He turns the accusation back on the society itself.
Yeah. Then he directly attacks that evil assumption that all black people lie, that they're inherently immoral. He says lying, immorality. That's just human. It cuts across all races.
He's begging them to think for themselves, right? To look past the stereotypes.
He's appealing to their individual conscience, asking them to rise above the mob mentality. The verdict.
Devastating. The jury comes back, and hearing guilty over and over, Jem's shoulders jerking like each guilty was a separate stab.
And Atticus just quietly accepts it, packs his papers, leaves through a different exit. His dignity in that moment, it's immense.
It really is. And afterwards, the black community's response, filling our kitchen with food, salt pork, tomatoes, beans, scuppernongs, pickled pig's knuckles.
Such a moving show of gratitude and respect.
Miss Maudie tries to comfort us, says Atticus is one of those people born to do our unpleasant jobs for us, that Maycomb pays him the highest tribute by trusting him with it.
It's a complex comfort, isn't it? Acknowledging his moral weight, but also the town's burden on him.
But the ugliness isn't over. Bob Ewell comes after Atticus.
Spits in his face.
Threatens him.
And Atticus just takes it. Says Ewell had to have some kind of comeback, that he'd rather take it himself than have Ewell take it out on that house full of children.
Again, protecting his family, absorbing the hatred.
Jem really struggles after the verdict, though. He's so disillusioned.
Understandably.
Angry about the death penalty based purely on circumstantial evidence? Questioning the whole system, juries?
His faith is completely shaken. He sees the gap between the ideal of justice and the reality of prejudice.
Atticus acknowledges it too, his own misgivings about the death penalty in such cases.
And it's the struggle that leads Jem to that realization, isn't it? First, there's just one kind of folks.
And then connecting it to Boo Radley. I think I'm beginning to understand why Boo Radley's stayed shut up in the house all this time. It's because he wants to stay inside.
How does that link Boo to Tom and the town's prejudice?
It's brilliant. Jem sees Boo isn't just weird. He's actively choosing to stay away from the world's cruelty, the same cruelty that condemned Tom. Boo's isolation is a reaction to Maycomb, a way to protect himself from the injustice Jem just witnessed.
Right. He wants to stay inside, away from all of that.
And that brings us toward the climax. Halloween night.
The town decided to have an organized pageant this year.
Because of that prank the year before, right? Moving the Barber sisters' furniture into their cellar.
Exactly. And I get stuck playing a ham in Mrs. Merriweather's agricultural pageant.
And that big chicken wire costume.
Which makes me feel far off. Sounds so far off. Kind of disconnected and clumsy.
That costume ends up being pretty important, though.
Yeah. On the walk home.
Yeah.
Jem and me alone. It's pitch black.
Still in the ham costume.
Cecil Jacobs jumps out, tries to scare us, which he does. But then something else happens.
The real attack.
Yeah. Someone grabs me, tries to squeeze me to death. I realize it's Bob Ewell. Jem yells. Gets thrown down.
And then a third person is there, staggering, coughing, fights Ewell off.
It's chaos. Then Dr. Reynolds arrives, confirms Jem has a badly broken arm. Sheriff Tate shows up, and suddenly we're right back where the book started. Jem's arm.
That conversation between Atticus and Heck Tate afterwards, about Bob Ewell being dead, it's intense.
Atticus assumes Jem did it, self-defense.
But Tate is adamant. Bob Ewell fell on his knife. He insists on that story. Why?
It's not just a cover-up, is it?
No, it's deeper. He wants to protect Boo Radley, dragging Boo into the limelight, making him a hero. Tate says it would be a sin, exposing him to the town he hid from. Unthinkable.
So Atticus agrees, painfully. Let the dead bury the dead, to shield Boo. But he has to reconcile it with his own honesty, especially for us kids. He says he can't live one way in town and another way in my home.
It's a moment where true justice, maybe, happens outside the law. Through compassion, understanding, protection.
And then I realize it was Arthur Radley. Boo. He saved us.
And you walk him home?
Yeah. Slip my hand into the crook of his arm. See him, really see him for the first time. Just this shy, gentle neighbor.
That is the ultimate act of empathy finally achieved.
Standing on his porch. I imagine seeing the town from his perspective. Finally understanding his gifts. The gum, the pennies, the dolls, the watch. Our lives. And feeling sad that we never put back into the tree what we took out of it. Seeing the world through his eyes, it changes everything.
So we've kind of walked through those foundational chapters, haven't we? From Jem's broken arm right up to Boo Radley's quiet heroism.
Yeah.
And we've seen how all these different pieces, the characters, the setting, the small events, build this incredible story about empathy, about challenging prejudice, about what courage really looks like.
Not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet persistence. Or just decency?
It all comes back to that core lesson from Atticus, doesn't it? You never really know a man until you stand in his shoes and walk around in them.
Such a simple line, but it carries the whole weight of the book.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with something to think about, maybe.
Oh?
In our own lives, how often do we encounter Boo Radleys? You know, people on the edges, maybe watching quietly, maybe doing unseen kindnesses.
And how willing are we to try and climb into their skin? To challenge our own assumptions, like Scout finally does on that porch. Could that reveal something important about our own communities, about ourselves?